Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. For starters, I wish all my viewers Merry Christmas and compliments of the season. Now, today, as a Christmas bonus, I've got two stories for you. My story number one is a district education officer in Madhya Pradesh sends a letter saying that, Baba, listen, you know what, your children, if they want to dress like Santa Claus and have events, Christmas events in the school, they should get their parental permission that the parents allow the child to be dressed as Santa Claus and have Christmas events. A notice of this sort was sent. Now let's talk about that. That's one. Secondly, our former Wrestling Federation of India's chief says, I am done with wrestling. Ho gaya, I am done with wrestling. This was the same man 3-4 days back. He said, Dabdaba tha, dabdaba rahega, which means I have the clout, I will remain to have the clout in Wrestling Federation. That is what he had said 3-4 days back. Today he says, Baba, I am done with wrestling. Nothing to do with wrestling. I don't want anything to do with wrestling. What brought this change? So that's my topic for the day. Let's get right into the show. So there is this place called Brampton in Canada. You know, Brampton is the same place where they had made that tableau of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. They had actually shown or celebrating her assassination, where they showed the security guards shooting Mrs. Indira Gandhi. I'm sure you remember this. Same place, Brampton. Now, Brampton mein, a group of Hindus, Canadian Hindus, they were building a Hanuman temple. And right next to the Hanuman temple, there was this huge Hanuman statue of 55 foot statue. And they were all contributing within the community and they were building this temple. Now, a lot of people in Canada, I thought bigoted people, some of the bigoted people of Canada, they started writing about how can, Canada be allowing such a thing? How can another culture take over the Canadian culture? Which means how can Hinduism come and dominate and have 55 feet statue of Hanuman and all of that? So a lot of people started writing, tweeting, sending messages and all of that. But then the Canadian government intervened. And the Canadian government said they're nothing doing. They have the permission and they will build that statue. There is no question. And we will help them to build that statue. So Canadian government offered security around that temple and the Canadian government asked the Canadian Hindu community, ke bhai, you have the permission, you please build that statue. We will ensure nobody stops you from doing so. Okay. So I was just reading that and I was thinking how bigoted people they are. What nonsense! By building a Hanuman statue, is that going to corrupt their culture? What nonsense are these people talking about? But then immediately I read another news. And that came from Madhya Pradesh. District education officer called Vivek Dubey wrote a letter to all the schools saying that, listen, school, no allowing children to participate in Christmas events. Proviso, they can participate, but after having a written permission from their parents. Their parents should write and say that my child is allowed to participate in Christmas celebration. My child is allowed to dress like Santa Claus. My child is allowed to take part in the Christmas event. Only then can you allow a child to participate in Christmas event. Else, we will take strict action against you, Mr. School, if you do that. Children not allowed to participate in Christmas event? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with us? And you know the difference here? The difference here is what happened in Canada were done by some bigots in Canada. But what is happening in India is done by a part of the government. The government of Madhya Pradesh, The education department reports to the government of Madhya Pradesh. Government of Madhya Pradesh reports to the government of India. So it is part of the government that is being doing this kind of activity of writing letters saying that ask her father to sign. Only then you can participate in a Christmas event. In fact, according to an article in Hindu, this gentleman, Mr. Dubey, he clarified saying that we have received complaint from parents in the past about school not taking their permission before Christmas programs. So this time we have asked schools to take written permission from parents if students from other religion take part in events. So they said no, we have got written complaints from parents, so we are taking this step. Clarifying that there is no restriction on conducting the program, he said that the department has requested the school not to involve students from other religion in such an event. If it is necessary, then they have to take permission from their parents. The social media uproar, said Mr. Dubey, was a routine order. We keep issuing similar guidelines from time to time to avoid problems. So Mr. Dubey said, listen, ये क्या है? कोई नया थोड़ी है. It is parents who come and tell us कि मेरे बच्चों को दूसरा कास्ट के कम्युनिटी के इवेंट में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करना चाहिए. So we wrote a letter, don't allow anybody to participate unless and until the parents write back. Till now, I was speaking to you about a government officer writing the letter saying that parents were complaining. Now let me show you the new Madhya Pradesh. This is a Bajrang Dal worker warning schools, saying, listen, no celebrating Christmas. Just hear it.
क्रिसमस के कार्यक्रम हिंदू बच्चों से कराए जा रहे थे, जिसमें बच्चों को संता बनता ऐसा क्रिश्चियन धर्म के अनुसार हिंदू बच्चों को रोल अदा करने के लिए स्कूल प्रबंधन द्वारा प्रेरित किया जा रहा था। 3-4 दिन से शिकायत मिल रही थी। आज हम लोग जब कार्यक्रम चल रहा था, उसी बीच में सूचना मिली कि आप लोगों द्वारा कुछ यहाँ आपत्ति नहीं की गई, तो हम बजरंग दल के लोगों को सूचना मिली, हम लोग इसमें आपत्ति कर प्रशासन को सूचना देकर के आपत्ति करने आए हैं कि हिंदू बच्चों को गैर हिंदू शिक्षा न दी जाए, उनसे सिर्फ हिंदू भगवान, हिंदू धर्म ग्रंथों के बारे में बताया जाए। और इसी बात को लेके हम लोग स्कूल प्रबंधन के सामने आपत्ति दर्ज कराने के लिए आए हैं। प्रशासन को भी हमारी इसकी ओर से सूचना हुई है। यदि इसी प्रकार के कार्यक्रम होते रहेंगे तो आगामी दिनों में हम इस विरोध को उग्र करेंगे।
He very clearly says that listen, you know what? You should not be making Hindu children celebrate Christmas, and we are not going to allow it. We are telling you now, if you don't follow suit, we will make it more ugra, which means we will be more aggressive. I'll also show you a clip of a teacher. Have a look.
नमस्कार, मैं अनामिका सिंह रामकृष्ण ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन से। यहाँ पर बजरंग दल के हमारे बंधु आए थे जिन्होंने सेलिब्रेशन के लिए मना किया। तो आपको जानकारी दे दूं कि हमारे पास कोई ऑफिशियली नोटिस नहीं आया था। व्हाट्सएप में जो भी आया, मैंने रात को 12:30 बजे देखा। सुबह मैंने अपने मैनेजमेंट हेड को सूचित किया, उन्होंने सारे ब्रांच में बताया कि कोई सेलिब्रेशन नहीं होगा। चूंकि कल दोपहर में ये नोटिस जा चुका था, हर साल हम करते थे सेलिब्रेशन, लेकिन इस बार जब ये आया तो हमने उसका पालन किया है और किसी तरह का कोई सेलिब्रेशन नहीं हुआ।
The second clip that you saw was of this teacher saying that we have been doing Christmas events for years, but we never knew that we were not supposed to do it. Now since this Bajrang Dal gentleman comes and tells us that you cannot do it, we will stop doing it. I have two questions. To the government of India and government of Madhya Pradesh. Who runs government of Madhya Pradesh? Does Bajrang Dal run government of Madhya Pradesh? Will Bajrang Dal decide what is the education, what are the rules for education department of Madhya Pradesh? Is that how the future of Madhya Pradesh and future of India going to be? I ask the government of India, what are you going to do about this? Is this how a state is going to act? And are you going to be a mute spectator? Why are we seeing all of this now? Why didn't we see this in India maybe before 2014? Why are we seeing this, all of this now? Why are all of this complaints about not participating in a Christmas event, or not sitting in next to a Santa Claus and getting a gift, or not dressing up like Santa Claus? All this, I remember when we were kids, it was natural. A lot of us used to do that and nobody would mind. In fact, they would love it. They would come and take pictures. Why? Why is this? How is this division all of a sudden relevant? And how could a state government allow such a circular to exist where you say that don't participate in somebody else's joy? You see, I am not only going to blame the government, while I do blame the government because government allowed such a circular to go, but I am also going to blame us. Us. Clear evidence of us changing as a society. Clear evidence of us changing and being more fanatic. Clear evidence of us being intolerant. Hinduism or no religion is insecure. People are. And what this shows is this shows our insecurity. And we are teaching that same insecurity to our kids. This is the point I wanted to make. Let's get into our next topic. I am done with wrestling. Baba, I am done with wrestling. This is what Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh said. You know, this was the same Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. I don't have to tell you the entire story. My day before yesterday's editorial also, which I would urge you to see, was based on Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh and what he said. The same Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh had recently said, "Mera dabdaba tha, mera dabdaba rahega," which means I had the clout in Wrestling Federation of India and my clout will remain in Wrestling Federation of India. 2 days back he had said, when Sanjay Singh became the president, he was literally like a proxy president. And he said, "Mera dabdaba tha, mera dabdaba rahega." And I had told you in your own channel, sitting in the same chair, that in Hindi, in our Mumbai Hindi, we say, "Ukhad, jo ukhadna hai." This is exactly what he actually said. "Mera dabdaba tha, mera dabdaba rahega." Things changed 360 degrees. And he said, "Baba, I don't want to do anything with wrestling." He said, "I am done with wrestling." Sakshi, Malik had to retire. A lot of those young girls and boys had to hand over their medals for this to happen. Now, I will also like to commend the government. For the first time, the government actually acted. The government actually acted. After this election happened, after Sanjay Singh became the president, Sanjay Singh, along with his master, Mr. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, went and announced unilaterally under 15 and under 20 wrestling matches. And the Ministry of Sports took this as a case in point. And said, "Baba, how can you go and announce? How you just unilaterally announce events? Who gave you the authority to announce these events?" In fact, such decisions are to be taken by executive committee, before which agendas are required to be placed for consideration. As per Article 11 of the Wrestling Federation of India's Constitution, under the heading Notices and Quorum for the Meeting, a minimum notice period of 15 clear days and a quorum of at least 1/3 of representative is required. बोला मजाक है क्या? ये जबरदस्ती है? Sitting down and saying, "Chal, kal match, parsu match." The sports ministry said, have you lost it? What's wrong with you guys? There is a constitution. You have to follow rules. You have to follow rules, and these are the laid down rules. You see, they also said the newly elected body appears to be complete control of the former office bearer, in complete disregard of sports codes. This is what the sports ministry said. The ministry said, "Are, it is not the Sanjay Singh controlling. It is being controlled by somebody else. It is being controlled by their former body." The ministry said, "Pagal hai kya? Is this how you are going to work? Is this how sports work? Is this how government works? Is this how organization works?" Kudos. Good. Happy. This is what the sports ministry should have done before. This is what the sports ministry did. Chalo, der hua par durust hua. Something right happened. The sports ministry went on to say, the business of the federation is being run from the premises controlled by the former office bearers, which is also alleged premises wherein sexual harassment of the players have been alleged. And presently, the court is hearing the matter. He said, this is not the WFI premises. This is the old office bearers premises, and tum wahan se you're passing judgments. What kind of elected representative are you? What kind of president are you? And the ministry said that this is the place where there has been an allegation of sexual assault, sexual harassment, and you're using the same damn premises. So the sports ministry for the first time came down heavily and without mincing any words and said, listen, this is ridiculous. Stop it. Stop it, and we are going to suspend you. We will ask for a re-election. This is what the sports ministry said. Now, there is one more thing that we need to understand. There is one more thing we need to understand. Why are we facing this kind of issues again and again and again? Why are we having people who have no relation with the sports? This man, Brij Bhushan Singh, claims that he was playing kushti at some point in time and all that. But he's not a formal kushti player who's won medals for India and all that. Why do we have these kind of people heading our system? You know, the Wrestling Federation of India was suspended by the United World Wrestling. Now, when United World Wrestling suspends you, your players don't get chance to play international events. Even if they get chance to play international event and they win a medal, your flag, the Indian flag, is not shown. That player does not get to represent their own country for which they die. They work 24/7 not just to get a medal but to represent that country, to wear a country color. That's what most of the sportsmen die for. So, yeah, I mean, it's not those kids. It's the mistake of the administration. Then again, WFI wrote a letter saying that no, now we are elected. Now again, they have been suspended, which is for right reasons. Papa, right reasons, absolutely right reasons these people are suspended for. But my question too is, how long is this suspension election? How long are the team going to suffer? Wrestling is doing fairly well in India. How long is the wrestling going to suffer? How long is the sport going to suffer? How long are our medals going to suffer? See, it is not that India is not talented. We have shown it many a times that our kids have got phenomenal talent. It is the administration that is failing our kids. It is the administration that is failing our kids. And secondly, like I ask and always ask, why do we need a Jai Shah to run a BCCI? Why can't a cricketer run a BCCI? Why do we need politicians to run sports events? Before Jai Shah, it was Sharad Pawar. Can you imagine Sharad Pawar running cricket events? Why? Why are politicians running events? Why can't sports people run events? Politicians run politics. Film stars run films. Why can't we have something called as specialized people running the specialized whatever business industry? Why do you want a doctor to run an ice cream shop? I mean, what logic is this? What logic is this? So that's the point I wanted to make. Good the decision what the sports ministry said. Better the statements that the sports ministry made. And finally, since they're on the job, they're doing a good job, might as well also consider to have sports people running sports departments, running sports bodies, other than having politicians and local goons running these kind of bodies. Think about it. We'll have a professional body, a professional administrative system to run the sport, and maybe it'll help the sportsmen better. It'll help the sport better. That's the point I wanted to make today. Like I said, have a great evening and enjoy your Christmas. Till I see you next time. Namaskar.
Stay ahead with our cutting-edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.